You already know it's Mr. Hood Love Mikey B, and this is Hood Love TV, where you live, love, and learn. The Hood Love Network. Today, I'll be checking Charleston White. Salute Grown Man Business TV. Make sure y'all go like, share, subscribe to Grown Man Business TV. Has great content, a lot of great stuff going on over there. Make sure y'all go subscribe to Grown Man Business TV. You know, so I caught this right here last night. That's why I tap into a lot of the content creators. I make sure I subscribe. You're on. Salute. Make sure I hit the like button on the way in, man. Share the live, subscribe to the channel. Y'all know what it is, man. So I caught the Grown Man Business show last night, and it was good. He was cooking. It's definitely one that y'all want to tap into. And he cooked. You know what I mean? Charleston White was on here. He was on a show with some guys, and he was talking about women and really in a degrading, disparaging way. And that's why I'm really tapping into this. You know what I'm saying? And I want to just y'all to hear some of this before I really go in, and we can go from there. Check it out. Grown Man Business TV. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe.
We always, we had queens that ran empires, but white men, respectfully, the dog fur, they've always had a secret underlying fear for the power of women. So yeah, they tweaked that in that good book. They tweaked it. A man should chase his purpose and a woman should help. Nah, it go both ways. You understand what I'm saying? If these women were chasing their actual purpose, then their husbands would be searching for them. Their husbands would actually find them. But again, they got these women distracted with Sexy Red, Glorilla, Moose Knuckles, Cardi B, right? Now,
Yeah.
Megan Thee Stallion driving a boat. They got these women obsessed with showing they body on Instagram.
Look
right?
at Houston, they tripping.
Popping pussy on the headstand. Yeah, twerking at the red light. They got women focused on everything that will distract them from their purpose. You understand what I'm saying? So again, the main word is purpose. Y'all
cooking right now.
Receipts. I don't go nowhere without the receipts.
He cooking
on that.
Listen
to CW, and then I'm gonna just break down what he's saying. I'm gonna just dissect what he's saying because he's right, and I agree with CW on the most of what he's saying. But then I want to kind of give some clarity to some of it, right? And I want to be a balance. I want to be a balance. Because I haven't walked through the door. CW has walked through the door. I'm very informative. Charleston White is very informative. The only difference is he's compromised. He has bended, break, and folded for the higher ups and the elites. Aiden Ross had him out there in Vegas, popping pussy on the headstand, partaking in homos. Yeah, we already know. So I want to let him talk, and then we're gonna break this thing down. Big salute to the chat. Hit the like button when y'all come in here. We're not staying long. One quick hour of power, and then I got a flight to make. All right, big salute.
Faith to a man's heart is through his belly. Yeah. A man will fuck a hole in the ground and not love it, and you'll get stuck on what he loves. A man ain't moved by love. You are. A man is moved by security. That's why he goes around, because she didn't do anything and don't complain about nothing. When the Bible says it is much better for a man to sleep on his roof top than to live in the house with a nagging woman. Where you been? Where you going? Nigga, I ain't been home in 2 years. I ain't been talking to my wife.
That's true. That's Proverbs. That what he just quoted is true. That's Proverbs 25, verse 24. That's true. You already know it's Mr. Hood Love Mikey B. And this Hood Love TV. Word up. But that's actually true. That's a true quote. I mean, that's a true quote from the Bible. It's better to sleep on the corner of a roof than to sleep at home with a nagging at a nagging wife. That's a true quote. That's Proverbs 25:24.
I had a car with me in the house of phone. Because just the other day she was fucking me about, do I have another baby? Bitch, you listen to what I'm saying online. No, I ain't had no other baby. Bitch lost the baby. But you listen to what I'm saying. You don't know what I'm saying. But if I
Now he's talking about his wife here and having babies on his wife. Charleston White is one of those guys that, I mean, you know, I'm not really judging him, but look at him. He got money now. Now he got girls. He left his wife. He got jewelry. You know, he got, you know, he's lit. So they on him. They're gonna come at him for the bag. You know how it go. He's reveling. He's really loving this treatment that he's getting from these women. And now we got an old dude, but this is the type of dude that they send into these colleges to talk to the kids in the next generation of scholars. They accepted him into college, and this is the type of dribble that he spits all over the internet. Check it out.
This ain't crazy. So that I'm saying, right? But you focus on what I'm doing as a man. I ain't gonna talk to you about it for another year and keep fucking with my little hole. I got the.
You see that? He said he's not going to talk to his wife for another year and keep, you know, getting with the hoes. This dude's bogged out. Yo, OG, salute, man. Salute to the people's pulling up. Yo, Shah, salute to everybody pulling up. Salute to everybody in the building, man.
They do that. You keep asking for money. You ain't stop asking for money. I realize they just want money. When you ain't got money, I want you to ask half broke, nigga. With that good dick and that good mouth you spread out.
He realized they only want money, and he paying. He realized they only want money, and he paying.
But when you get home, it ain't nothing to meet your needs as a man. But some pussy. So now, nigga, I don't bow to the woman. Nothing supersedes the purpose. No man should be home every night. And he got a purpose in life. He go home every night to do what? Cut for her needs.
That ain't true. Just because you got a purpose, that means you're not supposed to go home. He's bogged out. He's just running his mouth. Just because you got a purpose, don't get me wrong. See, the worst thing about a dude like Charleston White is he has intelligence. And they say the best lies have a little bit of the truth in them. So he knows the Bible. He knows the Bible, and he knows how to talk slick. He's a fast talking, old school scamming type. But the best lies are those told with a little bit of truth. And this is what I was just talking about last night and other times. He's telling you his interpretation of the Bible now. Of his interpretation from the Bible, and he's mixing it with a bunch of garbage from his own life, right? But check it out.
She had a special relationship with the devil. You got a special relationship with God. That's why the Bible.
That's cap. So he said women have a special relationship with the devil, and you have a special relationship. Men have a special relationship with God. That is cap. That is a total lie. Check it out. Let y'all hear that again.
She go home every night to do what? Cut for her needs. Because she had a special relationship with the devil. You got a special relationship with God. That's why in the Bible she never talked to God. God never talked to her. He went and talked to God on his own. Now she stayed back and talked to the devil. That's why she offended, because the devil torments your mind. You can't get in your heart. He don't know what's he torments them.
That is cap. Check it out. He said, we talk to God and the women talk to the devil. That is all the way lie. We are all one. We are all one. Just like you got women that talk to the devil, you got men that talk to the devil. You just think you got men that talk to God, you got women that talk to God. And the most important thing about this whole thing right here, with women is this. There is no way to enter from the spirit world to the material world. There is only one porthole. There's only one portal from the spiritual world to the material world. Chat, please tell Mr. Charleston White what porthole that is. There's only one way for you to come, every man and woman, to come to this world. There's only one way. And what way is that? Through the womb of a woman. There's no other way to get here to earth, to get to this plane of existence. There are other planes of existence, but it's only one way to get here. If a woman is not a representation of God on this earth, then men is not neither. Then it's none of us. But we are all representations of God. It's in the Old Testament and it's in the New Testament, spoken by Jesus. Right? God in the flesh. In the Old Testament, it says you are gods, but you will die like mortal men. In the New Testament, Jesus came and confirmed that. He confirmed that. He told the Jews, he said, they try to stone him. They said, why you stone me for? Why do you hit me with these stones? They said, because you act like you are the Messiah. But he said, in your law, which is the Torah, they told you you were gods, but you will die like mortal men. Right? How did Jesus come to this world? Jesus didn't just appear. What you mean God don't talk to women? God was born by a woman. And let me tell you something. He's not the only Christ. Haile Selassie, from the same line of David, from Jesus. Another Levite priest was born from a woman. Jesus was born from a woman. How are you going to talk about a woman never talked to God when they walked with him? They birthed him and they walked with him. But that just showed us that God comes from the womb. When Jesus came and confirmed that, he confirmed that we was gods because he came through the womb just like all the rest of us. You know, from the womb of a woman. Still just bugged out, y'all.
It's a conditional order. Why I had a dream? This why you can't dream over all life. You ain't gonna dream out of chick, man. Why you can't ever dream that good? Because the devil was talking to you. If you talk to God, you can't hear the devil. If you focus on your spirit, woman, you can't hear the devil. That's but man, nigga, but we got a special relationship with God. That's why you gotta get away from all. Every day you gotta get away from all. The devil talk through all, not through you. That's why you gonna lay it all and talk. I would say
that is cap. That is cap. In Ecclesiastes, see, in the times that we came up in the times, they were like really trying to keep women down. The writers of the Bible, the rewriters of the Bible was rewritten. We know that poets rewrote the Bible in different versions and made them sound better and took things out and added things to it. So when you read in a book like the Bible, you always got to have discernment. You got to know, like, yo, this ain't right. It's a quote in the Bible that said, out of every 1,000 men, I found one upright man, but not one upright woman among them all. Right? This is along the same lines of that. I don't believe that. And when they say upright in the Bible, they mean righteous. They said out of every 1,000 men. Hey Siri, in what chapter of the Bible did they say I found one upright man out of every 1,000, but not one upright woman out of them all?
That verse comes from Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 28, where the writer says he found one upright man among 1,000, but not one upright woman among them all. That was from ChatGPT. Check important info for mistakes.
like I said, so they've been trying to degrade women in the use of the Bible, but you got to use discernment. You got to understand that we all one. As above, so below. God is up there, God is down here. The Egyptians told you, they confirmed all the things that's in the Bible. When you really study, you're going to understand that everything is going to be confirmed. And that's why I'm a believer. At one time, I didn't believe in religion the way I did until I really studied not only religion, but science, history, the world. And when you put everything together, and when you have a better world view of everything, you understand that everything is being confirmed. Buddha, you got Allah, right? But in the Bible, it says there were other gods. In the Bible, when it said that you were gods, it was gods that was talking amongst themselves. Moses, if you read the Bible and you know the story of Moses, Moses went against other gods. At that time, he threw down his cane and turned into a snake. It ate the other two snakes. These are all stories of gods going back and forth, going at it. When you India, the same thing, gods. Egyptian, more gods, different gods. Any religion that you go to is going to confirm all these things once you have a better world view of everything. Let's see what the rest of the stuff this idiot had to say.
I talk to God about my motherfucking self. I don't tell her nothing, nigga. My woman don't know nothing, nigga. She don't know nothing, nigga. I keep it between me and God because the devil talks to her when I'm not there. It's in the Bible. The first nowhere in the Bible does God speak to a woman.
That's a lie. That's a lie. Nowhere in the Bible does God speak to a woman. That is a lie. Jesus spoke to women. Jesus is God in the flesh. Jah Rastafari Haile Selassie the first had a wife. He spoke to women. That is lies. Don't believe that. See, he'll take something because the prophets, most of the prophets in the Bible spoke directly to God, but all men didn't even get to do that. Every man didn't get to speak to God or spoke to God through a proxy, through something else. All men didn't get to do that. That was specific prophets, specific men that God came to and spoke to them so they could do certain things on the earth. Nah, you got to remember the burning bush. You got to remember the burning bush, certain things before Jesus in the Old Testament. God did speak to people, bro. He did speak to people, bro. And they kept their face down. They wouldn't look at God, but God did speak to people, bro. Through proxies, through other things. One is the burning bush. Angels sometimes came on behalf of God and spoke to people. No, as a proxy, he spoke through it. He spoke through it. And see, let me tell you something. You got a purpose in life. You got things that you're wishing for and working for and trying to get. God can give them to you. He can give them to you in a sign going by on a bus. If you're not in tune, you're going to miss it. That's your message. That is your message from God. A sign on the side of a bus for a job or anything. A YouTuber. A person giving you your purpose, giving you what you've been looking for. You probably getting it every day, but you too ignorant. And I'm not saying, and I'm using it ignorant in a way where you don't understand. You lack knowledge. You lack understanding, so you don't see it. He could be speaking to you through other people, through your wife, through things that's going on around you, and you don't recognize it. He can speak to you through your dreams. and you don't recognize it.
Whew. All right. Now, CW, he said a lot, right? And I'm gonna play this over, and then we just gonna break this thing down, right? And I see you in the chat. Yeah, we're gonna talk about his old lady. We're gonna talk about his wife. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be something that's a download that was heavy on my shoulders as well. We're gonna speak to that. But before I play this over, we go ahead and get into it. I just want to say this, right? When you sitting in a room full of men that don't read the Bible, they don't.
This is a good part right here.
They don't really know. They're not knowledgeable on like real grown man business, real grown man conversations. They got all this jewelry on. They got the money. They got the look, right? They got this whole giddy up, right? This rapper, costume on, right? So it looked like they know something, because in this day and age, as long as you got some money, everybody think you know something. As long as you look like you got some money, everybody will listen to you. They will pay attention. So a dude like Charleston White in a room like this is dangerous. It's really dangerous because these grown-ass men are very, very susceptible to be misled because they don't know nothing. All they know is...
And it's not just that they lack knowledge, but you're not even holding Charleston White to account to really question the things that he's saying. Because you're trying to get content. I seen the dude, I'm gonna show y'all that too. I seen the dude, the producers, whoever's working the cameras, to clip this part because he knew this part was controversial. He's a good podcaster because he knew the content that he was putting out was gonna sell, was gonna move the numbers, was gonna push the numbers. And I'm gonna show y'all that.
Home in 2 years. I ain't gonna talk to my wife.
Watch this.
I had a car wreck me and I was phone. Because just the other day she was fucking me about, do I have another baby? Bitch, you listen to what I'm saying online. No, I ain't had no other baby. Bitch lost the baby. But you listen to what I'm saying. You don't know what I'm saying. But if I come home and the dishes ain't clean, the house ain't right. But you focus on what I'm doing as a man, I ain't gonna talk to you about it for another year and keep fucking my little hole. I got the kind of money to do that. You keep asking for money. You ain't stop asking for money. I realize they just want money. When you ain't got money, I want your ass in half broke, nigga. With that good dick and that good mouth you spreading out. Where you going? Good dick can't be unaccounted for. You ain't come straight home from work. You ain't come straight home from work. But when you get home, it ain't nothing to meet your needs as a man. But some pussy. So now, nigga,
watch him.
Nothing supersedes the purpose. No man should be home every night. And he got a purpose in life.
Look at it. You see his face? Yo.
He come home every night to do what?
You see him?
Come for her peace. Because she have a special relationship with the devil. You got a special relationship with God. That's why in the Bible she never talked to God. God never talked to her. He went and talked to God on his own. Now she stayed back and talked to the devil. That's why she overthinks, because the devil torments your mind. He can't get in your heart. He don't know he torments the mind to condition the heart. Stop. But I had a dream. This why you can't dream about your own life. You dream out of chick, man, you can't have a dream that good. Because the devil is talking to you. If you talk to God, you can't hear the devil. If you focus on your spirit woman, you can't hear the devil.
Look.
Man, nigga, but we got a special.
You see that? You seen that? He said, hey, he knew he had something here. He just letting him go. He just letting him run his mouth. Go ahead, run your mouth. Go in. Looking for a nugget. He got it. Check it out. All that other dribble, he was listening, but it didn't really pique his interest.
You can't hear the devil. If you focus on your spirit woman, you can't hear the devil. Man, nigga, but we got to
clip this. That's what he said. Clip this. Clip this. Understand what you got going on. That's what you got going on out here. Dudes is trying to get their numbers. I ain't mad at homie getting his numbers. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even tripping off that. And he should be able to see things that's going to sell as a businessman. So, you know, I ain't tripping off that. But the controversy in the content is what's going to move the numbers. You see what I'm saying? The conflict, the controversy. Right, OG. That's facts. It's all wordplay and sorcery. That's true. God and the devil is yin and yang. What you think? They were all one. And it shows you the devil was a fallen angel. The devil was an angel. The devil's a fallen angel. So it just shows you even, so now it's a battle between good and evil, but they all won. It's balance. They all were a part of the same thing. In the book of Job, God is talking to the devil about Job. Job is not a prophet. Job is just a regular man living his life with a great family that's loyal to God and loyal to the scripture. God let the devil test Job. If you read the beginning of Job, the devil just popped up on God. God is like, yo, how'd you get here? God is like, yo, where you came from? The devil's like, yo, I was moving back and forth and seeing, you know, what's going on. This is Job. This is the beginning of Job. And he said, God used Job as a reference. He said, yo, listen, Job, no matter what you say or what you do, Job is going to stay content. The devil killed all of Job's kids, burnt his cattle, burnt his houses, and he still stayed obedient to God. So God blessed him with double of everything that he had after he went through the test with Job. Job wasn't a prophet. Job was just a regular man that had iron belief. He gave the devil permission to mess with Job. But really, he didn't give the devil permission because he know the devil's going to do the devil's work. But he told the devil, like, yo, listen, Job is the guy that he ain't going to go for none of that. He didn't give him permission because the devil runs the material world. This is the devil's playground. You don't see what's going on out here in these streets? All this nastiness that's going on? That a lot of us are playing roles in one way or another? I'm just being honest. We some fornicating, sinful people out here. This is the devil's playground. Yo, Henny, what up? This is the devil's play. The devil run this shit. The devil run the material world. The devil ran down on Jesus and try to flip Jesus. I give you anything you want. The devil run this shit. He run the flesh. We all powerful in the spirit, though. We weak in the flesh, but we all powerful in the spirit. We all powerful in the spirit. Once your spirit becomes a certain level, and then you see that power in the flesh as well. But we all powerful in the spirit. That's our God property, the spirit. Our God property is not the flesh. Flesh can be broken. Flesh can be tampered with. Flesh can lead you to do nasty things and sin against your own body. That's what flesh do.
You focus on your spirit, woman, you can't hurt the devil. Man, nigga, but we got a special relationship with God. That's why you gotta get away from her. Every day you gotta get away from her. The devil talk through her, not through you. That's why you gonna lay with her and talk. I don't say shit to a bitch. I just do shit.
That is all cap. That is all cat. The devil is going to get to anybody that he can get to. Anybody that's gonna listen to a man or woman, anybody that's gonna listen, anybody that's gonna do these things, the devil's gonna speak through him. Yo, Monster Mo, salute. What up? Where Job at? Hold on. Let me get Job real quick. The beginning of Job. Check this out. Look at this. This is chapter 1 in Job. Chapter 1, verse 6. It says, one day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, Satan also came among them. He slipped in with them. Check it out. And the Lord said to Satan, where do you come? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, from roaming the earth and patrolling it. This his shit. From roaming the earth and patrolling it. And the Lord said to Satan, have you noticed my servant Job? And that there is no one on earth like him. There is no one on earth like him. But he wasn't a prophet. Blameless and upright. Fearing God and avoiding evil. But Satan answered the Lord and said, is it for nothing that Job is God-fearing? Have you not surrounded him and his family and all that he has with your protection? See, he can protect, God can protect who he wants. So the devil playing games right now. He's using technology right now. He like, wait a minute, you talking about Job, but Job is only God-fearing because he got everything. He got a big house. He got all the money. He got a big family. Come on, you protected Job, but Job is good. That's why Job is so God-fearing. That's game. The devil's kicking the God. Check it out. You have blessed the work of his hands, and his livestock are spread over the land. But now put forth your hand and touch anything that he has, and surely he will blaspheme you to your face. The devil said God had a face too, so I don't know. The devil said God had a face, so I don't know. And the Lord said to Satan, behold all that he has in your power. Only do not lay a hand upon his person. Behold, all that he has is in your power. Only do not lay a hand upon his person. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord. And then, Job was put through all of these trials. Right. Do whatever you want, but don't kill him. So the devil could speak to anybody. The devil was all powerful in the material world. That's why you see what's going on out here going on. Because it's because the devil's all powerful, and we are so susceptible because we are taught to what? Cater to our lower selves instead of our higher selves. We cater to what? Our sins. He got money and jewelry so he can hit thoughts and not take care of his wife and his family and build big homes and do things like that, even if he was doing that. He said, I ain't been home in a year or two. Like, that's official. Like, that's something that, let me tell you something, man. We got to be very mindful for what we watch and listen to out here, because these agents of chaos, these agents of the devil, they are putting these people in front of us. They are putting these people in front of every audience to destroy the structure of our families, to destroy our values and principles. Homie is a no good dude all the way. He's not a good person. Son is not a good dude. If you can get up here and talk about women like this, right? Degrade your own wife, degrade your own house. How could I ever have respect for a person like that? That'll come to the internet and speak against his own wife that I seen jump in front of a gun for him in a barbershop while he was cowering to the back, and his wife jumped in front of the gun. Nasty work out here in these streets, man.
I talked to God about my motherfucking self.
Let's see what grown man business have to say. I didn't want this to be a long live. I just wanted to check this, Buster.
To know the word, to even be able to challenge the word. All right.
See, he's talking about the podcasters here, Grown Man Business TV, and I understand that they don't know the word, but they weren't looking to challenge him. They were just looking for their viral moments and get their money. They weren't looking to. Some people, when you interview them and you go hard, you grill them, they take that as you try to expose them, or you're not a good, you're not a good interviewer, and they might not never come back. So them dudes just sitting back, letting son run his mouth, and they getting their bread. I ain't got no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Because he's saying what he's saying, and they doing their interviewing, or they're letting him just speak. But I understand what everybody's not ignorant to the facts because they let somebody talk.
Get biblical over here at Grown Man Business TV. Big salute, 300 in the chat. Hit the like button and all that.
Man, make sure y'all go subscribe to the channel.
That's why in due time I realized that knowing the word is powerful. The devil knew the word, the serpent, the evils, even the Satan, if that's what you want to call it. Even Satan knows the word of the Most High, and he could use that same word to mislead you. So how you don't know the word? You know what I'm saying? The Most High is the word. Satan knows the word, and you don't even look in so you lost. All right. So I just wanted to throw that out there real quick. Big salute to CW because he said some powerful shit. But let's get into this. Big salute. Let's get into the first quarter of this clip, and then we're gonna interject. All right. Big salute.
Look. The way to a man's heart is through vetting. Yeah. A man will fuck a hole in the ground and not love it. And you'll get stuck on what he loves. A man ain't moved by love. You are. A man is moved by security.
I want to stop him right there, right? Again, easy interjection, easy challenge.
Easy.
Men are not moved by security. Women are moved by love. He's right by that. A woman wants you to love her. She want to fall in love. Most women want the Cinderella story. They want to fall in love. But women also yearn security. They want a man they want to feel protected. They want to feel secure. That's a female trait. You understand what I'm saying?
Facts.
Men, we move off.
Yo, you right, OG TV. You right. I was gonna go on the vertical feed on this. I was gonna do that, but I said let me go off the computer. The computer's a lot clearer. The computer is a lot clearer when I work off my computer. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna go off my phone, but I vetoed it. I don't like the way it was looking. You know what I mean?
Respect. So I would have kind of challenged CW. Men don't move off security. We don't look for women to secure us. That's not something that come in.
And I want to see one thing. I'm gonna ask Gemini some questions real quick before we get up out of here, because even though I read the Bible a few different times. Hey, yo, Shabay, what up? Salute. Of course, Charleston did bad, but I read the Bible a few times, and I even read the Bible from the back to the front, from Revelations to Genesis. I read it backwards, and every time that I read the Bible, I always found new things that I missed because things come to us with time. Like you might be watching this show or watching another show and you get information about the scriptures or the Bible or something because this is your time for it. This is the time for this to come into your life. This information is coming to you now for a reason. So you want to be very mindful of that. But I'm going to ask Gemini what men specifically spoke to God in the Bible real quick. I'm going to ask Gemini that right now. Hey, Gemini. Hey, Gemini. What men spoke to God in the Bible directly? No. You said Moses, Abraham, and Jacob? Did a woman ever speak directly to God? Yes, besides Hannah, who else spoke directly to God? No, not at this time. Thank you. The devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. So he got up there on that platform and they didn't hold him to account. And as you can see, multiple women were spoken to directly from God in the Bible. The devil's a liar. They are putting these dudes on platforms. These dudes get all the clout. They do all the shows. They're getting all the money to come out here and lie to the peoples, bro. They're getting all this money, all the clicks and views. Everything goes viral. When their name is mentioned, that is the higher ups. The higher ups are putting these people out there to give us a bunch of false information on everything, bro. To totally confuse the people, bro. Watch what y'all listening to. Watch this stuff. Watch this stuff because these dudes is up here lying. They got the biggest platforms. They got the biggest shows. Everybody, all the platforms open up for these dudes. Why? Because they know they are telling lies to us and they want to keep us in that stage of darkness. They want to keep us ignorant, keep us confused, and keep us filled with lies. That's what y'all see going on in the world. Why do you think in history, in school, you only get this history of slavery during Black history? Because the same people that are teaching you the history are the same people that took your culture. Why would they give it back to you in school? We took your language, we took your culture, we took your roots for a reason. That was taken for us for a reason. Why would they give it back? They know specifically where we came from. They know the lines, all of these shipping, all of these companies, the big companies were shipping companies during slavery. The Europeans have the books, the business books from slavery. They have the books of where the people came from. They can straighten all this shit out. They can stop all the confusion if they really wanted to. But they don't. They want to keep us in a stage of confusion. Because when you're not collected, when you're not connected to a land or a culture or a name, these are the things that connects you to your roots, or a language. These are the things that connect you back to your roots. Once you don't know your name or the place that you're from or your original language, now I can give you I can change you or try to change you. But you got to understand, this shit is encoded in our blood. It's encoded in our DNA. So regardless of how bad the treatment is, we always can right the ship. We always can get back to that because it's encoded in us. It's encoded in us. Yo, y'all tripping in the chat. Angels wrestling. Them angels are strong, y'all. Them angels are strong. But that's why you see all this stuff. That's why they got the Charleston Whites, all these do-bads. Anything that's like a negative thing, they're going to put these dudes, they're going to pump them to us. They're going to pump them to us. So what? We can stay ignorant. We can stay lower self. We can stay higher self. Now, I'm not Muslim. I'm Rasta. But better Christian. We Christians. Rastas is Christians if you ain't know. A certain type of Christian. You got to remember, original Bible is from Ethiopia. All those stolen books, all that stuff is in Ethiopia. The Ark of the Covenant is in Ethiopia. Which is what? Ran by Jah Rastafari, Selassie I. The line of David. I told y'all on other shows where Jesus is a part of a line of high priest. You can call him the Son of God or whatever you want to call him. But when the scripture says that he's a Levite priest. A Levite priest is a line of priests from beyond time that we remember. And these priests come periodically throughout time to rewrite things that's going wrong on the earth. I told y'all about Melchizedek, which preceded Jesus. Melchizedek is in the line of Jesus. Hey, Gemini, who was Melchizedek in the Bible? Yes. No, Melchizedek. You said he's a priest. What kind of a priest is Melchizedek? Or what kind of priest was Melchizedek? You said Jesus' priesthood was like Melchizedek's? How? Yeah, how is Melchizedek's priesthood like Jesus's? Because they said Jesus was the Son of God. How are they similar? No, no, no. How is Jesus and Melchizedek's priesthood similar? Partially. So Jesus and Melchizedek is not the same person. What I would like to know is this: Jesus was born from Mary. Where was Melchizedek born from? Not at this time. What I want to know is there any other priest in the line of priests, forever priests like Melchizedek and Jesus? Are there other priests like that? You said Jesus, say that again. You said Jesus' priesthood is superior? So you saying, hold on, because I'm mistaking this because you said Melchizedek wasn't ever born from a female. Nah, just a little confused about the comparison. Just a little confused about the comparison. You're saying Jesus' priesthood is superior to Melchizedek's priesthood, or it's the same? No, it doesn't, because you said Melchizedek wasn't born from a female, and you said his priesthood is also forever. Yes, it did. So what you can see here is that was the priesthood in the line of the Bible from then. Jesus is in a line of priests. Let me ask one more question to Gemini. See, it's you have to ask the right questions to get the right answers, right? Hey Gemini, is Melchizedek still alive? Did he ever die? Wait a minute. So you saying Jesus is a priest forever and Melchizedek is a priest forever? But Jesus died and Melchizedek didn't. Yes, somewhat. Thank you. Y'all heard it here first, man. I had to check Charleston White. He's a liar. Women have talked to God in the Bible. Had to check that. I had to check Charleston White on that. So we see that was a lie too. But the devil's a liar. You know what I mean? It's a lot of devils out here. It's a lot of bad work being going on. This is like my final thought. You know, this is the final thought I usually get is at the end of my shows. And this show is no different. But as you can see, the devil's a liar. These people that's out here lying, confusing people purposely. All this stuff is being purposely done. Y'all gotta watch. Y'all gotta watch what y'all, what y'all listening to, what y'all intaking, because a lot of this stuff is crap. A lot of these dudes just lying, and they know a little bit of stuff, and it sounds good, and they got the look and everything. So, you're gonna be susceptible to believe some of this stuff. But these dudes is all cap. These dudes is lying. They mixing the truth in with a lot of lies, and they going viral, and they getting paid to do it. So, this is a business for him. His business is to come out here and tell lies and trick the people. Stay on point out here. Make sure y'all doing your own studies. Go to Google. If you don't know something, Google it. All the information, that's a world computer. That's the world information right there. Google it. Use these apparatuses. We in the information age. Everything is on the internet. All the stuff that you want to hear, all the stuff you want to know is at your fingertips. It's right on your phone. Everything. Ask Siri. Ask Gemini. Go to Chat GPT. They can't hide the truth from us no more. The truth cannot be hidden. Now, if you lack the knowledge to be able to get the truth, then that's you. That's your glass ceiling right there. But make sure that when you listen to this stuff, that you doing your research, that you studying. You know what I'm saying? Make studying a way of life, and your life will be a lot easier, and you'll be a lot more powerful and strong, man. But you already know what it is, man. It's Mr. Hood Love, Mikey B. It's the Hood Love Network, where you live, love, and learn. Just check Charleston White, man. And to the next one, salute. You already know what it is.